Brothers and sisters, generals, welcome to another edition of EBX discussion. And I always got to call down that great protection from that great divine for ourselves and from ourselves, so we don't become our own worst enemy, and calling down protection and great prosperity for our families, brothers and sisters, and generals who just doing what we have to do in this life, and just being an upright human being first off the bat, and then we can conquer that spiritual world, because it is a spiritual world out there. We just got to step into it. The great divine is called many of us to be spiritual beings. It's wonderful, and it's not about trying to pretend to be this deep person. No, it's tapping into something that our mind and body sometimes might not understand, overstand, or understand, but it's a beautiful space to be, like our ancestors were decades ago, before technology, before religion, that divine spirit that was birthed from melanated brothers and sisters, as well as creativity, inventions, the concept of the computer all stems from a melanated brother and sisters, had brothers and sisters who were brilliant scientists. If you really go deep into melanated history, had a lot of brilliant scientists. A lot of their stuff were, how I go, were taken and was taken by something else, the good old colonizers, but I won't get too deep into that. But that's history that a lot of us are aware of these days. But, if we alive and breathing, brothers and sisters, we are back to conquer another day, another year, another decade, and salute, excuse me, and salute to my current subscriber, new subscriber, anybody that view, brother, sister, family. I thank you, and stay with it, and there's no such thing as giving up when we're seeking to do right, be right, and enjoying ourselves. It's all part of that righteous balance. It's wonderful, and I'm going to speak on, of course, the sacral chakra, and this is part 2. And remember, I got 2 other podcast I did on. The first one was becoming one with our chakras, and I just kind of gave a little intro on chakras. And then part 1 was the root chakra, because everything begins at the root, because the root is connected to the earth, and that's why I got Mama Nature on one's banner. It's beautiful. When we pay attention to things, that's amazing things in this journey, as I say in my title. This journey can be amazing when we finally when we went through the layers and be true to ourselves and get rid of all the gunk that's in that root chakra. We will begin to see nature in ourselves, because we come from nature. Then when we transition, we go back to nature. So that's why we become one with it. We can learn so much. And I've learned a lot about life in general, family, brothers and sisters, general salute. I've met along the way some amazing things we can learn on this journey. Of course, we go through the madness before we get to the goodness, but when we get to the goodness, it's great, and the battles we fought and everything we went through, when we get to a place of peace, firm awareness, it makes it all worth it. That's why it's good to meditate, so we stay intact with our mind, body, and soul, so our seeing, hearing, and feeling can be on point. General, salute. So welcome to part 2 of the sacral chakra, and it's going to get into it, and it symbolizes the color orange. If you look on a chakra graph where it shows the body with the the little symbols of the colors of the chakras, the root chakra is red and the sacral chakra is orange. And of course, we're gonna break it down, and I'm gonna go through some reasons. Got a couple of songs, as I always do. One song is is for my children. It's about thanking my children and family and life, stuff like that. I don't remember the title of it exactly, but I know it's like in the hook is called Thanking God, and we're talking about that real God now, not that false shit. Now, I gotta make that clear. We learned this on this journey. We learned that. We learned that on this journey. Getting in touch with our God self, deep within the belly of our soul, not this shit on the outside. Okay, and just got to make that clear. And the other song is Let That Great Divine Take That Wheel. In other words, let that divine spirit deep within take that wheel of our life. As I heard from Dame Dash, is his quote, because I like to, when I hear quotes and stuff from others, that's like others, whether it's brother or sister or anybody, I always try to say who they are. If I don't say their name, I say, well, I heard from a great brother or some sister, because we all got something we can bring to the table, small or big, but we got to be righteous in that soul, doing the right thing, even when it's not easy, and sharing our gifts, and appreciate Mama Nature, that great divine, our loved ones, even when things are going good. That's when we pay attention the most, when things are going good. We don't wait till things get bad. We stay focused on our body, temple, and that's why I'm going to go through all 7 chakras. As I said on the recent podcast, I think it was the root chakra. Well, it was both of them, the become one with our chakras. I think on both of them. I said I was going to do a 7-part series. We're going to go through all 7 chakras. And guess what, brothers and sisters? I'm learning too. Real talk. This is how we stay in touch with our body, mind, body, and soul. We study it, and when things come, we're somewhat ready. We go to the doctor or anything of that nature, we'll at least have information about it. So the doctor won't be shooting a bunch of big ass words at us and we don't know what the hell they're talking about. So it's nice to know, at least as much as we can about our body, mind, body, and soul, how we eat, drink. That stuff gets important. And all that stuff matters in our spiritual world. So let's get to it, brothers and sisters, because this journey can be so amazing. So we're going to get to some reasons of how this journey can be amazing and why it's important to focus on our body. And again, this is part 2 of the sacral chakra. And I'm going to read a briefing, then I'm going to go through some reasons, and I'm going to play those couple songs because music is good for the soul. It's good for our chakras also. And I spoke on that in a tribute I did to a Lil Kim, my hip hop heavy hitters I like doing those because I love hip hop. I love music overall, but hip hop is my first love. So in that podcast where I gave a tribute to Lil Kim, I spoke on how, that dancing stemmed from melanated brothers and sisters, because to us, our ancestors, I'm talking about decades ago, it was more than just dancing. It was like a righteous ritual. It was like when they came together, they danced as a celebration, and our sisters, these sisters that be twerking and all that stuff, they are nothing compared to our goddesses that danced back in the day. Because if you go back in time, just do a little research and look at some of our sisters that used to dance. I'm talking about our African sisters decades ago, how they danced. They can stand still and the only thing move is their hips. That's divine, real talk, because it was all about art more than just dancing and a physical thing. It's beautiful when you have a divine spiritual, some kind of spirit attached to our dancing, and of course joy and having fun. And always got to be twerking and doing something nasty. We can be somewhat sensual, but my sisters, and sexual, but be a lady. You know what I mean? Not a hoochie mama. That shit is played out. Real talk. That shit getting old. So it's a way we can have fun without all that. Real talk. It feels better, and you have more fun with your partner. When you just dance to have fun and not to be nasty or that lusting shit. And I got a new saying I like to say: no lust, no fuss, and less is best. And then when I say less is best, that comes to habits, how we eat, addictions, attention, social media. Less is best. That's my new thing. And no lust, no fuss. And we all know lust can tie into many things: attention, addictions, clicks and hits, and sex, of course. But no lust, no fuss. So if you ain't doing none of that, I always say, if we're not harboring any kind of wrong things or whatever, something that's not good for us, we're not harboring anything in our soul, we can breeze through this life, and be the best that we can be as generals, brother, sister, family. All right, now let's get to this summary with my leaders and teachers with a student spirit. The sacral chakra. Remember, this part 2. We got 5 more. 5 more chakras to go through. Because to me, this is like going through levels of our body. And a little side note, the sacral chakra is the battlefield. The root chakra, battlefield. So we are in the battlefield right here. This is where everything is developed. This is where you win or lose in the sacral chakra. So let's go. The sacral chakra, also known as the Vadhisthana. Vadhisthana. That's a weird word, and it is spelled how it sounds. Vadhisthana. It's like the S is silent. It's SVADHISTHANA. I'll spell it again. SVADHISTHANA. Vadhisthana. That's another name for sacral chakra. All right. Is the second of the 7th main chakra in the human energy system. It's located in the lower abdomen, just below the belly button, and is associated with creativity, sexuality, pleasure, emotions, and boundaries, which are all important. Remember, this is the battlefield. It is often linked to the water element and the color orange. Like I said, if you look on a graph where it shows the body with the chakras in it, like one of my podcasts, I showed a body with like the chakras were like blinking on and off, so. And now some of these, like before we get to the 7th chakra, some of them I'll use that same banner because I want to, show where the chakras are, but of course, anyone's listening, you can look it up yourself. I'm just trying to put the thought in your mind, in your subconscious, just giving us something to think about so we can focus on our body, so we can be champions out here. Real talk. All right. There's lower. It's what it say? Creativity, which is important. Sexuality. Don't be confused about your sexuality. If you go against that divine nature, to each is his own. But every choice we make has a consequence. Even something like that. Great divine made us to be man or woman, male or female. So if you go against that, you got to take everything that comes with it. So if you have difficulties down the road, duh. All right, moving on. So we're going to get to some reasons. And I'm going to see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 reasons. And I'm going to break it down even further. Let's go, my generals, brother, sister, family. Location, lower abdomen, between the navel and the pubic bone. All right. Association organs, bladder, kidneys, reproductive organs. That ties into what we drink, what we eat. And I'm learning this too now. Eating late at night, that's very important. Because I have to say, in my opinion, as a black culture, we got that bad, eating at night. We got to kill that habit. And I've done pretty good, and if we do find ourselves wanting to eat something late at night, make it light. I've spoken this before, but make it light. And I would say stop eating around 8, 8:30 at the latest, because over time, this is how we gain weight, clog up our arteries, etc., etc. All right, now this for me too now. So, and you'll know the difference. You'll see the difference, and it also plays a part in our going to the bathroom. It plays a part in that too, because we'll pay for it in the morning if we just willy-nilly, eat stuff and don't pay attention to our diet. Nature will always teach us. That's why I got this on my banner. And I do get in nature when one can. So I always say, for those who have jobs, always take moments to oneself and slow down, get a grasp on life. Appreciate Mama Nature. And speaking of Mama Nature, I'm gonna get to the rest of these reasons. But it's a brother I listen to, platform I've been listening to for a long time. And I thought it was wonderful. He had a sister speaking on his platform. I think it was today. And I heard birds chirping in the background. That was beautiful. And something I noticed when we learn about Mother Nature, like over time, when we've done it for a long time, it heightens our senses. We start noticing the little sounds of nature. That is beautiful. So that was just a little side note, because that's something you don't hear on a lot of people's podcasts. And I thought that was wonderful. And she was speaking, on a celebrity that's in court now, that's got trial going on. I ain't got to say his name. We all know who. But he had a sister on there, and she spoke some real truth about the situation. And I noticed the birds chirping in the background. I just thought that was wonderful. So salute to that brother for that. And she spoke some real truth. She really did. So that was just a little side note about nature. Man, it's beautiful. Get in nature when we can, because that's a part of making our chakras healthy too, and keeping them in tune, keeping them sharp. Yep. So bladder, kidney, reproductive organs, very important. And that ties into who we having sex with. We have to make sure how many people they've bodied. You know, I actually heard a sister say this on YouTube yesterday. Well, because you don't know how many people they may have bodied. And we can get those urinary tract infections and stuff like that. It's curable. You just get antibiotics, but still, you have to be careful, as well as the spiritual thing. Many of us talk about that. A lot of people carry, I wouldn't even call it a spirit. I call it an evil entity, something lurking around in them. You know, we just got to be careful when it comes to that, because we're connecting ourselves to people. You know, again, there's a time I didn't pay attention to stuff like that. When we're having sex with people, we're literally binding ourselves to them. And some people, it's hard to pry their ass off. So just got to be careful. So never, especially when it comes to lusting, again, many things can come from lusting. But just speaking on sex for a minute, never start something that we can't finish. And I'm going to just leave it like that. And we got a brother in the media now that had a platform. He started something. Well, it wasn't all his fault. He didn't use that awareness, you know. So, and we all know who we talking about. Ain't got to say his name. He all over the media. We got a couple of brothers in the media, but this brother ain't in jail. He just had a platform and made a wrong choice, and now he's dealing with the repercussions of it. That's what happens, you know. And karma holds no exceptions. You know, no one can escape. You know, put what we put out, what we get back, good or bad, positive or negative. There's no getting around that. I don't give a damn who we are, how much money, you know. What we put out is what the hell we get back. It's more than just a saying. So you live long enough, we learn this, you know. We supposed to anyway, especially if we up I always say levels of awareness or age. Brother or sister. All right, so let's get back to the reasons, or, you know, just showing reasons why we should focus on our chakras. And we starting out with the sacral chakra. All right, now I talked about the kidneys, reproductive organs, the bladder, and you know, it's very important who we connect ourselves with sexually. We can get urinary tract infections, stuff like that. And, you know, sometimes we're not aware of it, because urinary tract infections, you might not know you have it, and it could lead to other things, you know. So, all right, moving on. Of course, orange symbolizes the sacral chakra. Okay, functions. Sacral chakra governs emotions, creativity, sexuality, and/or pleasure. And I kind of read that in that summary, you know. Gotta watch that pleasure, and remember, that's whatever it is, because gotta watch those little small hits of dopamine. You know what I mean? It's got like social media, the media, news, clicks and hits and stuff like that. Just gotta be careful, because again, as I said many times before, we're living in a hyperactive world. So definitely have to be careful on the pleasure and master one's emotions. I've said many times before, because it helps us to be patient and not do things prematurely, you know, because again, great divine gives us what we need. Remember, the righteous wants will come, and tap into our creativity, whatever that is. And because if we tap into that good part of ourselves and create something we love, I always say, love what we do what we love, and do it a lot, practice it. It'll keep us, we won't even think about bad things, you know what I mean? And when toxic stuff comes, we'll be ready, because there's nothing wrong with being ready, because when you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. I said that before too. The sexuality thing, I spoke on that. To each is his own, you know. All right, imbalance. Imbalanced sacral chakra can lead to emotional instability, difficulty expressing oneself, and issues with creativity and pleasure. So when you're doing toxic things and you just keep repeating it, and the little voice always tells us, we keep doing it, and we dismissing the red flags, keep doing it. Well, again, what we put out is what the hell we get back, depending on what it is. Again, we do the smallest thing, toxic, and we spend the rest of our lives fighting back that energy we wasted and that choice we made. Again, like celebrities we see out here all the time, real talk. So there's lessons all around us. So if you learn nothing else on this channel from me, pay attention to your body, mind, body, and soul, see, hear, and feel, and that psyche. Because the sacral chakra and the root chakra is the battlefield, brothers and sisters. You better win there. You know, you don't win there, you've already lost. Real talk. So, all right. So that was the reasons, and I'll be back. And I want to play a couple songs, of course, like I always do. And thank those for riding along, and just flow with me and see and just enjoy nature, like my banner here. See the beautiful flowers? Don't they look beautiful? Just imagine walking through that. You know what I mean? And I talked about the smell of a flower, in nature. It's nothing like it, It's not sprayed. It's just natural. Nature get like you hear many of the greatest philosophers. You hear all of us say, nature provides everything we need, and that goes with teaching, anything we need. And you just you get out there and connect with it. You'd be surprised what pop up in our subconscious. All right, now this song was called "Brought Me Through," and I made this song years ago actually, but I uploaded it like 10 months ago. But it's old, and the song actually, it has a picture of my daughter and I think it was on the banner. Well, I showed like a little small portion of my daughter and I on the banner. My daughter and I, like just a quick few seconds of it in the song, and I'll put it in the end screen. It's called "Brought Me Through," and it's just like a song honoring like my family, kids, and just thankful for the things that great divine has brought me through, family, brothers and sisters. So I'll be back after this, called "Brought Me Through." And the next song is "Great Divine, Take the Wheel." So be back after this, my generals. Salute.
Yeah. Bring it. Praise him. Praise him. Praise him. Better than you. What you brought me through. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Praise him. Better than you. For everything that you do. And what you brought me through. Better than you. Better than you. Everything that you do. And what you brought me through. And God, I wanna thank you for everything you do. And what you brought me through. I wanna thank you. Yeah, I'm still here standing, even though this life's sometimes demanding. But I'm a real man, and now I'm understanding. I'm living in this world, this is God landing. A real stuff, and I give him the truth. And he's the reason why I'm able to do what I do. I want to make it, and yeah, don't do. And I get up on this mic, never be confused. Get it out my soul, and listen to me, let it go. And you'll never stop in this life as long as I can flow. As long as I can breathe, and you gon' see. And I stay up on these beats, it's E to the D-O-double-G. And I keep on saying my name here over and over again. And so you can hear it, yeah, when I'm gone, my friend. But this is what I do right now. And like I told you before, I'm thankful that I'm all around. Thank you for everything that you do. I gotta thank you for everything that you do. And what you got me through. I said I wanna thank you for everything that you do. And what you brought me through. And everything you do. I say I gotta thank you. Yeah, I could have been dead, yeah, and gone to heaven, yeah, I'm 47, I'm living today, I'm so happy, and I say, yay, yeah, hope up in the future, I'll be okay, I keep on going on, and I ain't gonna be sad, and I'm trying to do good up in this life, and not bad, it gets so hard, man, to be a man, but I stay up in this life, and stick with God, playing, woo, I keep on pushing through, but it's hard, but I know in the future, man, I'm gonna make it far, cause I keep the God, yeah, all in my bones, he's in my blood, it's what make me strong, I'm praying for my kids, my family too, and all my friends, and everybody too, I'm doing music here to get out like this, I stay strong in this life and never ever quit, oh, I said I gotta thank you.
right. Yep. Gotta thank you. Brought me through. That's what that song. So forgive me if the sound quality wasn't that great, but that's an old song, and that's when I stick to that. What Malcolm X told me. The least amount of tools. So I didn't have all my equipment when I made that song. So the quality wasn't all that great, but I was feeling it when I did it. So the great divine. That's what it's all about, right? So brought me through, and that song is, let me see how many years old, brothers and sisters. That song, that's about 15 years old. About 15, I swear, 15, 20 years old. As I say, I reiterate, as I told my son, Lord Lamont, salute General Lord Lamont. I've been doing music and writing rhymes since the 90s, so got a lot of songs I made. Now, again, I'll reiterate, I always got to put that disclaimer out there. A lot of beats are not mine. A lot of them I get from Rap Fame. So that's an app in a Play Store, which is a great app. It really is. And there's some good artists on there too. And salute to the artists and the DJs on Rap Fame. So that's where I get a lot of my beats. And again, not trying to make money. I can't do it anyway because they're not my beats. But not trying to make money and nothing like that. Just trying to put something in your ear. Put a little flavor in your ear, as Craig Mack said. Rest in peace and empire. So let's get to the next song. Divine. Take the wheel. We're going to take it up a notch. Be back right after this, my generals. Salute.
Yeah. EBX. Yeah. That's the freaking deal in this life. Gotta keep it real. Brothers and sisters, divine, take the wheel. Yeah. That's the freaking deal. Yeah. Divine, take the wheel. Hey, that's the freaking deal. A great divine, take the wheel. I'ma do what I gotta do, and I'm trying to make it through. Cause I want us to win, a man never lose. I'm staying here, man, I gotta keep this ground. And I keep on doing this, kicking this positive sound. I'm sending love unto all my family and my children, those struggling in these streets. And keep on pushing forward, yeah, and God has got our back. And gotta be positive and never ever slack. For my black people, yeah, I put them on the top shelf. Yeah. I try to reach out to those men that need help. Yeah. And yeah, gotta keep it real. That's the freaking deal, man. I give all the power to that divine. Take the wheel. That's the freaking deal. Yeah. And let divine take the wheel. Brothers and sisters, that's the freaking deal. Great divine, please take the fucking wheel. Man, don't mean to curse, but I forgive my God. But keep me going, yeah, don't never let me stop. And yeah, I love the bottom, mother F the top. And yeah, I keep on rocking right through this hip hop. I keep on seeing through, the devil never get me. No, I'm never confused, gotta have clarity all up in our brain. I gotta watch the children and never go insane. Divine, take the wheel. And that's the freaking deal. Hey, take the freaking wheel. Great divine. And that's the freaking wheel. And that's the deal. I gotta keep it real. I keep on doing this, never having no fear. Want all of us to make it and never ever quit. Yeah, let the great divine man take the wheel. And yeah, be the true to oneself and keep it real. Yeah, cause that's the freaking deal. Hey, great divine, take the wheel. Yeah.
And I'm trying to find my mojo. Gotta have my mojo music. Okay, let's see. Oop. Get back here. Let me see. Hold that thought, ladies and gentlemen. Be right back. All right, brothers and sisters, we are back. And I did have to click out. It might not be able to tell by the recording, but had to get the mojo music. And let's get back to the reasons. And we're going to break it down even further, why it's important to focus and fight those battles in our sacral chakra. And this is part 2, brothers and sisters. We got 5 more to go. Let's go. The first reason, another reason, we're going to talk about the physical. Practice yoga poses that focus on the lower abdomen and hips. And that's also known as the butterfly pose. When we sit Indian style, that's a good way to meditate too. And remember that root chakra is connected to the earth. To be honest, the best place to do this would be in nature, to sit out on the grass and do it. I've never done that, to be honest, but I'm going to try that. But I have done the Indian style thing and meditated. I've done that. I don't do it. I need to do it more, but I do it. And so that's a good thing to do, because it gets, it gets quiet. You get to your subconscious, and then that way we can reason with oneself, as I learned from a great brother Kwaku, salute. And reasoning, meditation, deep prayer, getting into the pit of that soul. Long as it's righteous, just get to that soul, get to the pit of our belly, our subconscious, so we can come up with solutions, results, and whatever that is, our health, our mental health, things in the world, our physical, of course, and then we can conquer that spiritual side of us. All right, that was the physical. Let's get over to the emotional. Engage in activities that bring us joy and righteous pleasure, such as dancing. I spoke on a little while ago when I did that tribute to Lil Kim, Hip Hop Heavy Hitters. I spoke on that, how dancing is good, creative pursuits, or spending time in nature, which I was just speaking on. That's why I got this on my banner. And it helps to connect with our emotions, and we can learn a lot about nature, become seventh nature. Just like by the time we get to that seventh chakra, we're going to be doing things naturally and not having to push. I always say, never push, but never give up. You know what I mean? Be one with nature. Learn a lot about it. Be surprised. When we get serious about really learning our body as a brother, sister, and family, we will be amazed what will come about on this journey. Again, the journey can be so amazing. Of course, when we get through the uncomfortable things and dealing with those inner things that hide in our body, once we get through that, man, we on fire. So, all right, that was the emotional. Those are ways I read. Engage in activities that bring us joy, pleasure, good things though, good pleasure now, such as dancing, creative pursuits, or spending time in nature. Like I'm doing now, podcasting, but this is just one thing. There are many things we can do. We just got to tap into our inner self and know what gifts we have and what purpose that great divine has for us. Only we know, and that great divine knows. But we have to get in those deep prayer moments and meditation moments, get into our subconscious, and find out the warriors we are. Find that warrior that's in us. All right, spiritual. Meditate on the orange color and the water element. That's beautiful. So I guess they saying, in my opinion, we'll get an orange mat or something like that, because it represents the sacral chakra. So meditation is very important. You hear that from our most greatest philosophers. That will always tell us to meditate. Will always tell you or us to meditate, because there's the only way to keep ourselves centered and keep a grasp on things, on life, person, place, thing. All right. Last but not least, reason. Other. Use orange clothing. These are like symbolic. Incorporate orange colored foods into our diet, and listen to music that evokes emotional responses, and yeah, that's good. Like I was listening to Angie Stone. When was I listening to her? Yesterday. And I had just a small concern, something I was thinking about, and that song No More Rain came on, and it was right as I seen that number 444. I always say I see that number all the time, and I'm not gonna put that song on the end screen. I'm gonna take that back, because it's some other. I'm gonna put the beauty of clarity 444. I'm gonna put that in the end screen, because I think that's important. And how many of us see numbers, all the time? And I see 444 on the regular. And right as I saw that number, that song by Angela Stone came on. Ooh, that rhyme came on. And No More Rain. And it spoke to my heart. Rest in peace and empire, Angie Stone. And we know that song is beautiful. And you know how she sang, sunshine has come. I mean, felt like she was speaking to me. I almost watered up. My eyes almost watered up, because I love music like that. So that was just another little side note. So that's a connection to music, and it made me feel better. You know what I mean? It was almost like it was meant for me to hear that song in that moment. That's why I say there's no such thing as coincidences. If we pay attention to that great divine, Mama Nature, our life, universe, just things around us, that's magnificent, wonderful. We just, as humans, we don't be paying attention, but it's some beautiful things in Mama Nature that's just staring at us every day, so that's why we gotta take the time, pause, stop, and smell the roses. Literally stop somewhere and smell the roses, or just some flowers in general. I did that one day, stopped, and it just, man, that flower smells so good, like a beautiful woman, a beautiful sister. How sisters can smell good. That's what it remind me of, sisters can be so beautiful, they really can. I'm not just talking about those who are attractive. I'm talking about a sister that has a beautiful soul. That's the most beautiful thing in the whole wide world. I'm talking about a righteous soul. It's rare, but they are out there. And like Corey Holcomb said, I heard him say recently, he said the reason why we don't see good women out here because they somewhere being good. They're not all on social media and podcasting and trying to be seen. They somewhere being good. And it makes a lot of sense. Salute to Corey Holcomb. I love Corey Holcomb. Real talk. And that is, man, that's the realest shit I've heard in a long time. That's so true. As well as good brothers. We don't see, women out here or sisters complaining about there ain't no good brothers out here because they somewhere being good. Real talk. You don't see them. You know what I'm saying? A true brother, a true general, handling their business. They ain't out here trying to be seen and doing selfies and all that bullshit. So that's just real. So these are the things that come up when we meditate. You know what I mean? Really take studying our body and ourselves serious. So those are just some things, reasons, advice, suggestions. I always say I suggest, teach, and give advice. Again, this for me too, folks. So thank those for coming in to another edition of EBX discussion. And that was just some reasons and some things I wanted to put in one's psyche to give you something to think about, and just always keep studying our body, man, and stay on top of ourselves so we can be righteous in the present and be ready for that future. You know what I'm saying? And be ready and to lock into that divine so we can protect ourselves, our loved ones, significant other if we have one, family. You know how I do it. Righteous ripple effect. Start with ourselves, children, family. Work our way out, because again, what we put out, so we get back. So why not put out something positive? Positivity is free. Like I always say, negativity can cost you. So thank those for coming in, current subscriber, new subscriber, anybody that view, I salute you, my generals, great divine is in your life. You know what I mean? So be thankful if we are in a good position, and doing pretty good, as a brother, sister, family, salute to that great divine for the storms it has brought many of us through. And those who haven't got to a place of peace or going through something, stay with it, get into your subconscious, dig deep for solutions and results. There's always a solution. If we're in a place of seeking them, they will come. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Just stay with it. Think of all the fires that we have been through. Great divine didn't bring us to this point for nothing. So think about that, marinate on that. So, all right, this has been SACRAL Chakras Part 2. And as I said on that last podcast, the journey has begun when we begin to be aware of our body, mind, body, and soul. It's beautiful to be in that space, and then we can teach it to others. We be in the business of building generals. We'll know the real generals because our sense of awareness and intuition will be sharp. Because if we connected to nature, that's automatic. Real talk. So just stay strong, my brothers and sisters. Stay aware, stay on point, and stay connected to that divine. And may that great divine protect us all. Brother, sister, family. Keep forging forward and stand the generals. We are. Salute.